For this, and for all of my discussions of the reading passages on the SAT, be sure to have your official SAT study guide in front of you. We'll be working from the second edition of the College Board's Blue Book, and we'll be looking at practice questions related to all types of reading passages. Hello. In this lesson, we'll be discussing tone questions from the reading passages of the SAT. For the example tone question in this video, we'll be looking at page 763 in the second edition of the official SAT study guide. Tone questions will ask about the author's attitude, feeling, or tone in the passage. They can be specific and ask about a specific line or a specific idea in the passage, or they can be general and ask about the author's overall attitude throughout the passage. One important consideration when you're doing tone questions is to avoid extreme language. For example, an answer that mentions supreme confidence or hatred will usually be wrong. In addition, if an answer says something like, the author is completely uninterested in this idea, we can usually cross it off right away. The answer to a tone question will generally be fairly middle of the road and moderate and not be overly positive or overly negative, much like the answer to any question in reading in general. Let's look at a sample tone question. On page 763 in the official SAT study guide, look at question 8. Question 8 asks, the author's attitude towards the portrait in line 3 is best characterized as one of. Look back at line 3. Notice that a few lines above that, the author calls the movie that we are discussing a masterpiece. In line 3, he mentions the finely honed portrait of a computer in the movie. Therefore, based on these two observations, we need a positive word for our answer to question number 8. Let's get rid of answers A, C, and E. A is resentment, a highly negative word. C is confusion, also a negative word. And E is probably the hardest word of the bunch, derision. Derision means harsh criticism. So we're left with answers B and D. B is appreciation and D is awe. Based on the idea that extreme language is usually wrong, let's get rid of answer D and pick B, appreciation. Awe is definitely the second best answer, but if really the author was expressing awe, he would be saying something like, this is the greatest movie of all time, or I can't believe how incredible this movie was, when really he's just telling us that he appreciates the finely crafted portraits within the movie itself. Thanks for listening. That's a brief discussion of tone questions, and I'll see you next time.